Forget everything you've heard about burnout. Burnout is a luxury item for people who haven't found their purpose. It's an excuse manufactured by the weak to justify their weakness. You think Elon Musk worried about burnout while building Tesla. You think Oprah complained about work-life balance while building her empire. Champions don't burn out, they burn bright. They understand that life is not a marathon, it's a sprint. You can rest when you're dead. Right now, while you're young, while you have energy, while you have time, you should be grinding like your life depends on it. Because it does. Every moment you waste on self-care is a moment your competition uses to get ahead. Success is not a matter of luck. Success is not a matter of timing. Success is a matter of never stopping, never quitting, never giving up, no matter what happens. Right now, at this very moment, someone somewhere is working harder than you. Someone is pushing through pain, through doubt, through exhaustion, because they understand one fundamental truth that separates winners from everyone else. The person who keeps grinding when everyone else has stopped is the person who ultimately wins. Let me tell you about a man who failed in business at age 21, who was defeated in a legislative race at age 22, failed again in business at age 24, had his sweetheart die when he was 26, had a nervous breakdown at age 27, lost a congressional race at age 34, lost a senatorial race at age 45, failed in an effort to become vice president at age 47, lost another senatorial race at age 49, and was elected President of the United States at age 52. That man was Abraham Lincoln. What made the difference? He never stopped grinding. He never stopped believing. He never stopped moving forward. And that's exactly what you must do if you want to achieve anything worthwhile in your life. You see, most people quit just before they're about to succeed. They quit at the last minute. They quit when the finish line is just around the corner. Studies show that 80% of sales are made after the fifth contact. But most salespeople quit after the second attempt. 90% of success in any field comes from simply showing up every single day and doing the work, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. The difference between successful people and everyone else isn't talent. It isn't intelligence. It isn't luck. It's the ability to keep going when going seems impossible. It's the willingness to take one more step when your legs are screaming at you to stop. It's the determination to make one more call when you've heard no 100 times already. Think about water cutting through rock. A single drop of water can't do anything to solid stone, but millions of drops over time can carve out the Grand Canyon. That's the power of never stopping. That's the power of consistent, persistent action. Every day you grind, you're wearing down the obstacles in your path. Every day you push forward. You're creating a groove that makes the next day a little easier. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. Steven Spielberg was rejected by the University of Southern California School of Theater, Film and Television 3 times. Oprah Winfrey was fired from her first television job for being unfit for TV. Colonel Sanders was rejected 1.009 times before a restaurant accepted his Kentucky Fried Chicken recipe. What do all these people have in common? They never stopped grinding. The most dangerous moment in any pursuit is when you start to feel comfortable, when you start to think you've done enough, when you start to believe that you can coast. That's when your competition passes you. That's when your dreams start to die. The moment you stop grinding is the moment you start declining. Every morning, you have a choice. You can hit the snooze button or you can hit the ground running. You can make excuses or you can make progress. You can complain about your circumstances or you can change them. But here's what you need to understand. There is no neutral. You're either moving forward or you're moving backward. You're either growing or you're dying. You're either grinding or you're declining. The compound effect of daily effort is astronomical. If you improve just 1% every day, in 1 year you'll be 37 times better. That's not 37% better, that's 37 times better. But if you decline just 1% every day, in 1 year you'll be at 3% of where you started. That's the power of never stopping. That's the mathematical reality of consistent effort versus giving up. Your brain is wired to keep you safe, comfortable, and conserving energy. It will give you 1,000 reasons why you should stop, why you should rest, why you should quit. But your brain doesn't understand success. It doesn't understand achievement. It doesn't understand the satisfaction of pushing through barriers and accomplishing what others said was impossible. Now let me tell you something that might surprise you. Working hard isn't enough. Millions of people work hard every day and still struggle. The difference between those who succeed and those who merely survive isn't just effort. It's mindset. It's the way you think about the grind. It's the meaning you attach to the struggle. It's the mental framework you build that turns obstacles into opportunities and setbacks into setups for comebacks. The first thing you must understand is that grinding isn't punishment. Grinding is privilege. Every day you wake up with the ability to work toward your dreams is a gift that millions of people throughout history never had. When you shift your perspective from I have to I get to, everything changes. I get to work on my business. I get to improve my skills. I get to push myself beyond my limits. This simple shift in language creates a profound shift in energy. Mental toughness isn't something you're born with. It's something you build, rep by rep, day by day, challenge by challenge, every time you do something you don't want to do. You strengthen your mental muscle. Every time you push through resistance, you expand your capacity. Every time you keep going when everything inside you screams stop, you prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you imagined. Let me share a secret that took me years to learn. Motivation is overrated. Motivation is like a sugar rush. It feels great in the moment, but it doesn't last. What you need isn't motivation. What you need is discipline. Discipline is doing what needs to be done whether you feel like it or not. Discipline is showing up when inspiration has left the building. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. You don't need to feel good to do good. You don't need to be inspired to be productive. You don't need perfect conditions to make progress. Champions train when they don't feel like training. Writers write when they don't feel like writing. Entrepreneurs build when they don't feel like building. That's what separates the professionals from the amateurs. Professionals don't wait for the right mood. They create the right mood through action. Here's the truth about habits. They're either working for you or against you. There's no neutral ground. Every day you are either building habits that move you toward your goals or habits that keep you stuck where you are. The beautiful thing about habits is that once they're established, they require no willpower. They become automatic. They become part of who you are. Start small. Don't try to revolutionize your entire life overnight. Pick one habit that will move you forward and commit to it for 30 days. Maybe it's waking up an hour earlier. Maybe it's reading for 30 minutes. Maybe it's making 10 sales calls. Whatever it is, make it non-negotiable. Make it as automatic as brushing your teeth. The enemy of discipline isn't laziness. The enemy of discipline is rationalization. Your mind is incredibly creative when it comes to making excuses. I'll start tomorrow. I need to wait for the perfect moment. I don't have the resources yet. These are the lies we tell ourselves to avoid the discomfort of growth. But growth only happens outside your comfort zone. Success only comes when you do what unsuccessful people are unwilling to do. Let me tell you about a study that changed my understanding of success. Researchers followed a group of children for decades, from elementary school into adulthood. They gave these children a simple test. They put a marshmallow in front of them and said they could eat it now or wait 15 minutes and get 2 marshmallows. The children who waited who demonstrated self-discipline and delayed gratification were more successful in every area of life decades later. Higher incomes, better relationships, greater life satisfaction, the ability to grind, to delay gratification, to keep working when the reward isn't immediate. This is the foundation of all achievement. Your mind will play tricks on you. It will tell you that everyone else has it easier. It will tell you that successful people are just lucky. It will tell you that you're different, that the rules don't apply to you. Don't believe these lies. Everyone faces resistance. Everyone deals with doubt. Everyone battles fear. The difference is that successful people feel the fear and do it anyway. Building a grinding mindset means becoming comfortable with discomfort. It means embracing the suck. It means understanding that the path to extraordinary results is paved with ordinary, unglamorous, daily actions. It's not the home runs that win the game. It's getting on base consistently. It's not the massive breakthroughs that create success. It's the small improvements compounded over time. You must learn to fall in love with the process, not just the outcome. If you only find joy in the destination, the journey will be miserable. But if you find satisfaction in the daily grind, if you take pride in showing up when others won't, if you celebrate the small victories along the way, then success becomes inevitable. Not because you're guaranteed to reach your specific goal, but because you've become the kind of person who achieves goals. The grinding mindset isn't about being perfect, it's about being persistent. You will have bad days, you will face setbacks, you will make mistakes. The grinding mindset says, so what? Tomorrow is a new day. The next moment is a new opportunity. Every second is a chance to begin again. The past doesn't equal the future unless you live there. Systems beat goals every time. Goals are about the future, systems are about the present. Goals can be demotivating when you're far from achieving them. Systems provide daily wins. Instead of having a goal to lose 30 pounds, create a system of working out every morning. Instead of having a goal to write a book, create a system of writing 500 words every day. Instead of having a goal to build $1 million business, create a system of making 50 contacts every week. Systems create inevitability. Systems remove the guesswork. Systems turn wishes into reality. Remember this, your current situation is not your final destination. Where you are now is simply where you are now. It's not who you are. It's not what you're capable of. It's just a starting point. Every master was once a disaster. Every expert was once a beginner. Every success story started with someone who had every reason to quit but decided to keep grinding instead. There's a carpenter who can work 16 hours a day with a dull saw and barely make a dent in the wood. There's another carpenter who spends 30 minutes sharpening his saw and cuts through the same wood in 2 hours. Both are working, both are grinding. But one is getting results while the other is just getting tired. This is the difference between blind effort and strategic grinding. Hard work without direction is like running on a treadmill. You're moving fast but going nowhere. Strategic grinding means knowing exactly where you're going and choosing the most efficient path to get there. It means understanding that all activities are not created equal. 20% of your actions produce 80% of your results. Your job is to identify that 20% and pour your energy into it. Every successful person I know has learned to ask one critical question before taking action. Is this the highest and best use of my time right now? Time is your most valuable asset. You can make more money, you can't make more time. Every hour you spend on low-value activities is an hour stolen from high-value activities. Every minute you waste on the trivial is a minute you can't invest in the transformational. Here's what most people don't understand about productivity. It's not about doing more things. It's about doing the right things. It's not about being busy. It's about being effective. You can be the busiest person in the world and accomplish nothing of value. You can work fewer hours than everyone else and create more impact. The key is leverage. The key is focus. The key is choosing your battles wisely. Let me teach you a technique that revolutionized my productivity. Every night before bed, write down the 6 most important things you need to accomplish tomorrow. Not 10, not 20, 6. Rank them in order of importance. When you wake up, start with number 1. Don't move to number 2 until number 1 is complete. If you only finish 3 items, those were the 3 most important items. This simple system forces you to prioritize. It prevents you from hiding behind busy work. It ensures that your grinding is always pointed in the right direction. The biggest productivity killer isn't distraction. It's not procrastination. It's perfectionism. Perfectionism is fear dressed up as quality control. It's the voice that says your work isn't good enough, that you need to tweak it just a little more, that you're not ready to ship. But here's the truth. Done is better than perfect. Version 1 is better than version none. You can't improve something that doesn't exist. Speed of implementation is a competitive advantage. While your competitors are planning and preparing and perfecting, you can be doing and learning and improving. While they're stuck in analysis paralysis, you can be gathering real-world feedback. While they're waiting for the perfect moment, you can be creating momentum. The faster you fail, the faster you learn. The faster you learn, the faster you succeed. Strategic grinding means understanding the power of single focus. Multitasking is a myth when you think you're doing 2 things at once. You're actually switching rapidly between tasks, losing efficiency with each switch. Studies show that multitasking can reduce productivity by up to 40%. When you grind on one thing at a time. Give it your complete attention. Finish it, then move to the next. The most valuable skill you can develop is the ability to say no. No to distractions, no to interruptions, no to good opportunities that prevent you from pursuing great ones. Every yes to one thing is a no to something else. Your time is finite, your energy is limited. Guard them like your life depends on it, because your success certainly does. Learning while grinding is the ultimate leverage. Every book you read while building your business makes you more effective. Every podcast you listen to while exercising feeds your mind while you strengthen your body. Every course you take while pursuing your goals accelerates your progress. Knowledge compounds just like money. The more you learn, the more you earn, the more you know, the faster you grow. Here's a principle that will transform your results. Always be testing. Test different approaches. Test different strategies. Test different times of day. What works for someone else might not work for you. What worked yesterday might not work tomorrow. The market changes. Technology changes. Circumstances change. The person who adapts fastest wins. Momentum is the secret weapon of strategic grinders. Objects at rest tend to stay at rest. Objects in motion tend to stay in motion. When you're stuck, the hardest part is starting. But once you start, once you build momentum, everything becomes easier. Small wins create confidence. Confidence creates bigger wins. Bigger wins create unstoppable momentum. Track everything that matters. What gets measured gets improved. How many calls did you make? How many pages did you write? How many units did you sell? Numbers don't lie. Numbers don't make excuses. Numbers show you exactly where you are and exactly what you need to do. If you're not tracking, you're guessing. If you're guessing, you're gambling with your future. Energy management is more important than time management. You can have all the time in the world, but if you're exhausted, you won't accomplish anything worthwhile. Schedule your most important work during your peak energy hours. Take breaks before you need them. Invest in your physical health. A tired grinder is an ineffective grinder. Strategic grinding means building systems that scale. If you have to be present for every aspect of your business, you don't have a business, you have a job. Create processes, document procedures, train others. Build something that can grow beyond your personal capacity. Work on your business, not just in it. The compound effect of strategic grinding is exponential. When you combine hard work with smart work, when you add focus to effort, when you multiply consistency by efficiency, the results aren't arithmetic, they're geometric. You don't just get better, you get better at getting better. You don't just make progress, you accelerate progress. Remember, the goal isn't to work yourself to death. The goal is to work yourself to life. To create the life you want through strategic, focused, intentional effort. To build something meaningful through intelligent persistence. To achieve extraordinary results through ordinary but optimized daily actions. The race doesn't always go to the swift or the strong. It goes to the person who runs in the right direction, who paces themselves properly, who knows when to sprint and when to conserve energy, who understands that grinding isn't just about effort, it's about effort intelligently applied. Now we reach the moment of truth, the moment when the grind gets tough, when enthusiasm fades, when obstacles multiply, when everyone else would quit. This is when champions are made. This is when ordinary people do extraordinary things. This is when you discover what you're really made of. Burnout is real. Fatigue is real. Doubt is real. But giving up is optional. The difference between those who achieve their dreams and those who abandon them isn't the absence of challenges, it's the response to challenges. When you hit the wall, you have two choices. You can stop, or you can find a way through. Your why must be bigger than your obstacles. When your reasons are strong enough, you'll find the way. When your purpose is clear enough, you'll find the energy. People don't burn out from working too hard. They burn out from working without meaning. Connect your daily grind to your deeper purpose. Remember who you're doing this for. Remember what's at stake. Remember what's possible. Build your support system before you need it. Surround yourself with people who believe in your vision. Find mentors who've walked this path. Join communities of like-minded grinders. Success is not a solo sport. Even the lone wolf needs a pack. Even the strongest person needs encouragement. Don't let pride prevent you from asking for help. Criticism will come. Doubters will multiply. People who've given up on their dreams will try to convince you to give up on yours. They're not bad people, they're scared people. Your success reminds them of their failures. Your persistence highlights their surrender. Don't take it personally. Use their doubt as fuel. Let their criticism strengthen your resolve. Celebrate every victory, no matter how small. Completed your morning routine? Victory. Made that difficult phone call? Victory. Pushed through when you wanted to quit? Victory. Success is built on a foundation of small wins. Recognition creates motivation. Motivation creates momentum. Momentum creates result. Your body is your vehicle. Neglect it at your peril. You can't grind effectively when you're sick. You can't think clearly when you're exhausted. You can't perform at your peak when you're running on empty. Exercise isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Sleep isn't weakness, it's recovery. Nutrition isn't optional, it's fuel. Take care of your machine if you want it to perform when you feel like quitting. Remember why you started. Remember the pain of staying where you are. Remember the regret of giving up too soon. Remember that everyone who's ever achieved anything meaningful wanted to quit at some point. The difference between success and failure is often just 5 more minutes, just one more try, just one more day. Create rituals that refuel you. Maybe it's meditation, maybe it's music, maybe it's time in nature. Whatever restores your spirit. Schedule it, protect it, Prioritize it. You can't pour from an empty cup. You can't give what you don't have. Renewal isn't selfish, it's strategic. The darkest hour is just before dawn. The greatest breakthroughs often come right after the biggest breakdowns, when everything seems hopeless, when nothing seems to work, when the mountain seems impossible to climb. That's usually when you're closest to the summit. That's when one more push makes all the difference. Your struggles are not unique. Your challenges are not special. Every successful person has faced what you're facing. Every champion has felt what you're feeling. Every winner has wanted to quit. The only difference, they didn't. They kept grinding when grinding seemed impossible. They found strength they didn't know they had. They discovered that they were capable of more than they ever imagined. Let me tell you about Sarah. 3 years ago, she was living in her car, working 2 minimum wage jobs, drowning in debt. Everyone told her to be realistic, to accept her situation, to stop dreaming. But Sarah had a vision. She started a small online business selling handmade jewelry. Every night after her shifts, exhausted and hungry, she would sit in that car crafting pieces by streetlight. One sale the first month, through the second. By month 6, she could afford a small apartment. By year 2, she'd quit both jobs. Today, she employs 12 people and runs a 7-figure business. The difference, she never stopped grinding. Success leaves clues. Look at any extraordinary achievement and you'll find ordinary people who did extraordinary things through relentless effort. J.K. Rowling wrote Harry Potter while on welfare, rejected by 12 publishers. Sylvester Stallone was rejected 1.5 times before Rocky got made. These aren't superhuman people. They're normal people who refuse to accept normal results. The transformation that occurs through consistent grinding isn't just external. Yes, your bank account changes. Yes, your circumstances improve. But the real transformation happens inside. You become someone different. Someone who doesn't accept excuses. Someone who finds solutions instead of problems. Someone who creates opportunities instead of waiting for them. The grind doesn't just change what you have, it changes who you are. When you prove to yourself that you can push through any obstacle, overcome any challenge, outlast any competitor, something shifts in your core. You walk differently. You talk differently. You see the world differently. Problems that paralyze others become puzzles for you to solve. Mountains that intimidate others become hills for you to climb. Impossible becomes I'm possible. Your consistent effort creates ripples you can't even see. Your children watch you refuse to quit. Your friends see you push through adversity. Your colleagues witness your unwavering commitment. You become living proof that dreams aren't just fantasies, they're futures waiting to be built. You inspire others not through your words, but through your actions. You give others permission to pursue their own dreams by pursuing yours. The compound interest of grinding extends far beyond money. Every skill you develop becomes a tool for future challenges. Every obstacle you overcome becomes wisdom for future decisions. Every victory you achieve becomes confidence for future endeavors. You're not just building success, you're building capacity for greater success. Legacy isn't what you leave behind, it's what you build while you're here. Every day you grind, you're writing your story. Every challenge you face, you're creating your legend. Every time you refuse to quit, you're crafting your legacy. Not a legacy of perfection, but a legacy of persistence. Not a legacy of ease, but a legacy of effort. Not a legacy of luck, but a legacy of labor. Here's the truth nobody tells you. The reward isn't at the end of the journey. The reward is the journey. The person you become through grinding is worth more than any goal you achieve. The strength you develop, the character you build, the wisdom you gain, these are the real treasures. The external rewards are just bonuses. Right now, at this moment, you stand at a crossroads. Down one path is comfort. mediocrity and regret. Down the other is challenge, growth, and fulfillment. The choice is yours, but know this: 5 years from now, you'll be somewhere. The question is where. Will you be looking back with pride at how far you've come, or with regret at how far you could have gone? Now, the time for excuses is over. The time for action is now. Your future is calling. Your dreams are waiting. Your potential is unlimited. All that stands between you and extraordinary results is consistent, persistent, relentless effort. So make the decision, make the commitment, start the grind, never stop, never quit, never surrender. Your best life is on the other side of your hardest work. The grind begins.